This is Survivor Talk with D&D. I'm Dwayne.
And I'm David.
And we're just two best friends talking about the show we love, Survivor. And tonight is our listener feedback show for episode 12, Straw That Broke the Camel's Back. We did end up deciding who said that, correct?
I believe it was Tony.
I believe it was. And about whom was he speaking?
Had to have been Cass.
Yep.
I don't think anybody else ticked him off that bad.
No. So we have a special guest with us tonight. He'll be joining us in just a few minutes for the Baker's 15. But before that, David, why don't you tell them about our recording schedule for this week, the week of the finale.
We are recording our recap show live Thursday night, which is May 22nd. At what time?
I don't know.
Me either. But we'll let you know on Facebook and on Twitter and on any other media outlet that we use to promote ourselves.
So if you're an audio-only listener, you will get it on Friday instead of Thursday. I apologize, but it's a 3-hour night, my friends. So there you go. I'm sorry. It's the best I could do.
It's the last night. What are they going to do, fire us?
Yeah. They're going to stop giving and stuff. So, hey, speaking of that, if you enjoy our show, would you consider supporting us? You can do that at survivortalkwithdnd.com/support. You can support through PayPal or Patreon. In fact, we have some patrons who have received some pretty cool thank you gifts from us, so if you're interested, go check that out. But, of course, the best way, doesn't cost you a penny, is to shop Amazon. We love shopping Amazon. I bought some stuff from Amazon last week, got it the next day or the day after. And just use our links to go to Amazon or go to survivortalkwithdnd.com/Amazon. So thank you very much. That helps us support the show. And we are going to be doing some podcasting during the summer, though my wife was not happy when I told her that. She said, when can I have that room back? And I said, well, Connie, I'm going to be recording during the summer.
How often?
I don't know, once a week maybe?
Really?
Once every other week?
Every other month? What do we get it down to? We're talking about a TV shoot in the breeze, and then it's the summer. They don't want to hear us during the summer. They don't want to feel obligated to come find us.
You're just tired of it. You're just lazy.
I am. I want to watch it and talk about it, and that's all I want to do.
All right, let's get to the Baker's 15 before David gets us all depressed. Baker's 15. Hello, Andy Baker.
Hey guys, how's it going? What I'm doing with this whole schedule here is when's the round table going to be? You know, the postseason.
We are turning the round table into a weekly series.
No. No, that is a good point, Andy. After the finale, we're going to do a recap show. We will also do a listener feedback show. Don't know what night for that one yet. And then as soon as we can get Andy and Steve and possibly Scoopin together, we will be doing a roundtable about the whole season. And if there's any rumors about the next season, we might even talk about those.
All right, then.
We're just going to kind of get all of our people together and decide when it's going to happen.
One possible suggestion, although this may make David lose his mind.
Yeah, really.
One thing that Gordon Holmes does is, at least he has the last couple of summers, has had a summer rewatch, and then have people sort of have a meeting of the minds where people post messages. Pick a season to watch like you're watching it live, dude.
Yes. Yeah, David's like, dude, man, I ain't got time for this. I love my family.
Family priorities.
Complaining about time the other day, and I was like, dude, I have absolutely no sympathy for you on time. I spend 15, 20 hours a week on this podcast or more.
And most of it you spend within the time that we make the podcast and then staying online to try and get it up.
Oh, my gosh.
I'm not going to touch that.
Thank you.
I hear you though. I mean, this is that time of year where we're all fatigued. I was talking about it with Pittman, and writing recaps, writing the blog, doing podcasts. You get a little bit of a recharge in the middle there between the two seasons, but here we are at the end.
Yeah.
And obviously we're all excited. We know we want to find out what's going to happen, but. We're all pretty tired. We're all pretty strung out. I can only imagine what it's like actually in the game after 39 days.
Yeah, but it's only
Speaking of-
39 days long. We've been doing this for
Yeah.
3 months.
Yeah, they've got it easy.
Yeah, this is so much harder than this.
Hey, speaking of Pittman, man, he is one smart fella. Does he know everything about Survivor there is?
He's off the charts smart, and
Golly.
I had a chance to meet him when I went out to the finale in December. And you talk about anything, and it's funny. Talk about combination passion and exhaustion. It's like this is a guy who loves the show and wants it to run forever,
Yeah.
but part of him wants it to end so that he can move on.
Yeah, so he can.
Because he does all this statistical breakdown, and
I know.
I'm sure you've looked around the website. It is crazy.
I know.
How much awesome detail is there.
True Dork Times, right?
Correct.
Right, TrueDorkTimes.com. Yeah, he's got. I mean, you ask a question on Twitter, he's got the answer.
He does.
Well,
there was one that was kicking around the last few days. I'm sure it's why you were talking about it. But
yeah, probably so.
What was it? It was the number of players who had 100% accuracy on who was voted out.
Yeah.
Pretty,
Hey, Andy,
pretty smart.
guess what I'm going to do for the D&D after show for those watching on YouTube?
What?
20 things you should never tell your woman.
I thought we talked about this.
Podcasting all summer long.
20 things you should never tell your woman. Yeah, one of them is, no, honey, I'm going to be podcasting all summer. Yeah.
This room is mine until
I'm
Survivor
going
ends.
to be. What was that, David?
I said Dwayne's room is his until Survivor ends. He never gets it back.
Yeah. Colleen's like, that's our ironing room. Like,
Number
this room is
13. I'm going to write a parody song about your pregnancy.
Hey, one thing I actually did say to my wife whenever she was pregnant, now, there's going to be so many mad women at me, and my son brings this up to me all the time, but she was laying just kind of sprawled out on the bed, and she was 38 weeks pregnant or whatever. And I said, man, you look like a beached whale.
Oh, God.
Yeah, that was not the right thing to say.
This list is actually Dwayne's history. It's not nothing he found online. This is his history of being married.
Yes. Man. Oh, boy. Well, anyway, so man, there's a couple things we could talk about, Andy. I know in your blog you discuss who you think could win, and I know it has been confirmed by Probst there's going to be a final 2, not a final 3. It'll be interesting to see who those final 2 would be. So
when you do get to play, Andy, what are you hoping for the end? A final 2 or final 3?
I'm of two minds here. I'm a purist and would love the final 2, but obviously they brought in the final 3 because there were third place finishers. For me, in the end, I'd say final 2 just because there's more strategic maneuverability late in the game. And it's the kind of stuff that Cass has been doing, which I wrote about it in the column a few weeks ago about how I still adore what Johnny Fairplay did at the end of Pearl Islands. I mean, people think of him as this big character, but the guy knew what he was doing. And when he was down in numbers at Final 5 and Final 4, particularly at Final 4, he started exposing who had Final 2 deals with whom. When you have 3 people, all of whom have been working in lockstep, eventually they're going to have to turn on each other, and they're lying to each other. And Cass did that, obviously exposing the whole Wu thing. So I'm fond of the final 2. Of course, if I were to come in third, I'd be screaming and yelling that I want there to be a final 3.
Right. So do you think Wu goes out at 4? Do you think that picture we have, or that little short clip of Cassandra, Spencer, and Tony on the island, they look out at the boat's coming in, do you think Wu's already out of the game?
Certainly that's what it looks like, and it's one of those major editing slips if that's in fact what we're seeing. Because obviously the boat's coming, and it does it look like Probst? Is it Probst? Is it not Probst?
Yeah, I don't
It's
think it
definitely not Probst.
Yeah. So who would that possibly be?
I don't know, but I looked at the picture because there's a picture of it on CBS Express, and you can clearly see who's on it. It just looks like nobody I've ever seen, and he's American.
Okay.
North American.
It's so odd. I mean, obviously, it's created rampant speculation that there's a loved one's visit, but would they really do that at 4? I mean, really, what it comes down to for me is that if Spencer wins immunity, Wu's gone, and so,
Yes.
and obviously this, that image would back that up.
Right. Tony and Cassandra want to take each other to the end, I would think.
They
Right?
do, although, I mean, the one thing I was writing about in the column that I kept trying to get my head around is if you were to have that Wu, Cass, Tony mix, would Cass pick Tony over Wu? And I don't know the answer to that question. I would think that she would want to take Wu unless she's so totally deluded into thinking she can beat Tony. But
Well, she thinks Tony's a jerk, and she thinks that people aren't going to vote for him.
well, but I mean, that's what we're being given. I'm sure there's also confessionals which we're not seeing where she's saying, and Wu's done absolutely nothing and is seen as Tony's minion, and so he won't get any votes either. So, I mean, we're seeing things largely to prepare us for what's to come, and I think my sense is it's either Spencer or Wu is going home at 4.
Right.
Yeah, see, I said the same thing. I was thinking the same thing before Dwayne didn't give me a chance to say anything for the last 15 minutes. But anyway, Lloyd, they're asking the questions, what's wrong with Tony, why would you take him or why wouldn't you take him? What's wrong with Wu, why would you take him, why wouldn't you take him? And we got the Tony explanation. She wants to take Tony, which works out good for Tony, and Tony wants to take her. But in my blog, or my non-blog that I'm finishing this tonight, I don't see how you can bet against Spencer to lose anything. I mean, Wu's got balance, he's got this and he's got that, but Spencer's got drive. I mean, he's still fighting for his life, and he knows he's gone if he doesn't, whereas Wu might be under the impression he's safe if he doesn't win. Spencer's got that, I know I'm done if I lose. And I just don't see Spencer wanting to take Wu and taking the chance. He knows he can beat Cass, and I bet he feels he can beat Tony, but Wu is that author that if nothing get mad at somebody, Wu could be one of those people that collects their votes. So I think Cass would go along and Tony would go along. There'd be no tiebreaker, and Wu would be the fourth place.
Yeah, no, I think. I mean, you're right in that. Why bet against Spencer? And certainly, I wouldn't. If he gets to Final 3, the question is, Final 4. I'm expecting something physical. Maybe with puzzle elements to it, and anything like that, you're going to give Spencer the benefit of the doubt and give him the edge. But are both challenges going to be that, or are you going to get that random Philippines? Hold the 2 handles here and the ball in between, and and I mean that's what it was when they Sari'd Sari back in Micronesia. That last challenge, the 3 of them had to hold something.
Yeah.
Or like in Thailand, where they held it between their knees or something, and between their elbows or something. One of those just holding on to coins or something. They couldn't.
They had to get into goddess pose and hold this thing up with coins, and and it made Brian seem like a genius for bringing along Clay and Jan, both of whom cramped up in about 30 seconds. So,
I wonder during that preview where Spencer's jumping off that post. Somebody yells jump, and it sounds like a female voice, and it's not Cass. I'm almost positive it's not Cass. That's why I got to thinking, and even some people have talked about it online, about the typhoon that went through the Philippines during this time, and that was why Tasha talked about them not eating for a couple of days. They couldn't make a fire. And I'm wondering if the family visit got delayed, because I don't remember reading where that pole challenge, where they're lifting up the buckets, it looks like filling up the pole with water, if that's a reward or if that's an immunity challenge.
Well, there's 4 of them. Do they do reward challenges on the finale?
They usually don't if there's 5, because it's usually 5 in the finale, and they do 2 quick ones, and then there's our final 3. But now that we know it's a final 2, there's only 2, right? There's only 2 challenges.
It's the same dynamic. If you're going from 5 to 3, that's the same dynamic as going from 4 to 2. So yeah, I guess they could do a reward.
I mean, that's true. If they had time to. But
I'm not just on a challenge level. I don't buy that as one of the final challenges. When it comes to it being an immunity challenge, I can see it being a reward challenge.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It would be reward. It would not be immunity. No.
Probably a reward challenge with with an advantage in the next immunity challenge.
But not the final challenge. Yeah.
Right, but they don't know that. See, he'll say an advantage to be in the final 3, and they're all still thinking they're going to final 3.
Mm-hmm.
They don't know they're going to Final Two.
Right.
But do they?
I don't think they do.
See, that's what I wonder too.
Yeah, I mean,
How would they?
I wrote about it in the column where I was trying to figure out, like, I mean, Cass was openly speculating at Tribal Council, mentioning a Final Three or a Final Two, and the question is, why is she talking that way? Is it because they do that every single season and they're only giving it to us because they are in fact having a Final Two? Or have they figured out because of the number of days that are left? Have they sussed it out? Have they figured out that there's going to be a Final Two?
The only thing that might have given it away was Tony's idol, but he learned it was Final 5 that he had to play it, which would give you no indication there's a Final 2.
Right.
That's the only thing I would have thought that would have hinted at a Final 2.
Well, one thing that will probably tell us one way or another whether or not they knew it was going to be a Final Two is, well, they may not show us the scene, but Spencer would be saying to everybody, the idol would expire at 5. They will have him be vulnerable at 4 if we're having a Final 3. And I mean, he'd be beating that drum, and if he's not, then are they suspecting a Final 2? I mean, I don't know. And actually, someone put a comment on my my column saying that, and I didn't remember this, that Yule's idol, his super idol, actually was good all the way until that Final 3.
Golly.
It blew my mind. I mean, it's so unthinkable that I had refused to think it anymore.
Yeah.
But they could play it at Final 4 to get to Final 3.
Yeah. Why do you think Tony's crying?
Yeah, I mean, that's another suggestion that maybe there's a family visit.
I just can't imagine why else he would be crying. I tell you what if the reward is you get to see your family and no one else does, and he and Cass and whoever are sitting back not getting to see their family?
Yeah, what if before the challenge, that's what the boat is? Your family's out there waving to you, and you got to win this challenge, and your one family member comes aboard or comes to shore. And that way he never even gets to see them. They're just out there in the boat, and Cass says, you got to be kidding. I can see my family, but they're not coming to shore.
Maybe.
Well, the question then is, who's that person in the boat who's coming to shore? I mean, who won?
Yeah, I don't know if that's it, but I'm just saying, I mean, David's scenario might be the case. I'm just saying, whenever Tony's crying, it might be because he lost the reward, and the reward was to get to spend time with your family, or maybe a Skype call, or whoever,
Yeah.
Maybe Skype sponsored them.
Maybe that's a Skype motorboat coming up.
Yeah. Or something like that. I just can't think of any other reason why Tony's going to be crying like that.
But I agree that there's such short amount of time to throw a family visit in. It's almost like it would be a family moment, not quite a visit. You've got 1 hour, with your family.
Well, yeah. I mean, the rest of you go back to camp. Y'all get to have a dinner with your family.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're a couple of days away from the end anyway. But I mean, I can see. Well, I'm just trying to think. Does Spencer win that challenge and then gets to pick one other person, and he picks Cass, and Tony loses his composure? Maybe.
I don't know.
But I mean, that's a lot to pack into.
Yeah.
The first hour and 10 minutes of the episode, because they're going to have the Final 4 challenge or reward challenge, family visit, the Final 3 challenge, and then you finally get around to having your final Tribal Council.
All right.
But maybe they want to pack it all in there, knowing that Final 2, if it's going to be a cakewalk Final 2, then they're going to stretch that other good stuff out as long as they can.
Tribal Council takes 15 minutes.
Yeah, the only cakewalk Final 2 is if Spencer's in there, right?
Well,
cakewalk?
I'd say anybody with Cass.
Yeah, Tony and Cass. I mean, really?
Even Woo with Cass. How'd you play, Woo?
I thought I did okay. Cass can't win, period. You think maybe she... Okay, I posted on Twitter this week that perhaps Cass overplayed her strategy. Maybe she wasn't anticipating all the hatred she was going to get. I know she's getting a lot of it on social media and everything, but...
Well, who's the most recent person that dislikes her? Andy talked last week, and I think the week before, about a jury foreman. And I can guarantee you, Trish is not the quietest person at Ponderosa. She's the most recent victim of a Cass attack.
No.
So she's gone back there and just reinvigorated those people of how they feel about Cass.
Yeah, I do wonder. I mean, well, Cass said in a confessional that she's expecting the jury to be angry and bitter.
Right.
But she's also, at the same time as she said that, has that smile on her face and says, but, they just need to get over it. But if you
Right.
think logic is going to dictate how things go at a final tribal council, then you haven't been watching the show.
Well, right. Right. That's what I'm
Rare
saying.
jury that is at all level-headed.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I think she might have overplayed her hand. I think she might have taken or assumed that they would respect her game if she fessed up to everything. But there's so much bitterness and anger that they're not going to.
I think it was a couple weeks ago we got previously on, and it was basically Tony versus Spencer. And I can just see Wu being removed this for number 4, and it comes down to Tony, Spencer, and Cass, and Probst is salivating and saying, "Man, I hope the two people that could probably split the votes make it to the end, and this is good, or else we really should have stuck to a final 3 this year. This should have been the time we should have stopped and kept it at 3." And then unfortunately Tony or Spencer goes, and it's going to be lopsided, and Probst shoots himself in the foot, saying, "Why did we go to 2? This was not the year to go back to 2. We should have stayed with 3. I would love to hear Tony, Cass, and Spencer give their arguments. I think that would be one of the best tribal councils, and I think their answers to questions would be good because they would fight back with everything they got, except for Spencer. He wouldn't have to fight.
Right.
But I just wonder if one of those strong players one of the men goes, and then it feels like it's going to be lopsided. One side they're picking on Cass, one side they're asking Spencer, "How did you do it?"
Right.
And it becomes too
I
obvious.
wonder, it'd be interesting. 2 threads that have been kicking around almost since the beginning. It's, the Tony versus Spencer show,
Mm-hmm.
and it's the, and Spencer saying a long time ago, what if we had an all-brains finale?
Yeah.
Final tribal council.
Yeah.
So if the final 3 is Spencer, Tony, Cass, and Spencer wins that immunity challenge, so he wins the battle with Tony,
Yeah.
he can Cass with him to the end, you have your all-brains final.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Either way, as long as Wu isn't in the final, just the way I see it, it's going to be a really entertaining final.
Yeah, well, it should be interesting. I'm sure if you'll end up having a chance to read the column.
Yeah, I will.
Spencer.
Did you write a column?
Spencer tweeted out. Spencer read it and he tweeted that that essentially he agreed with everything for the first time. By the way, it's a 180 on what his opinion tends to be about my column. And in it, I was commenting that I was really bothered by the fact that a Wu Cass final is a really legitimate possibility, and what a letdown that would be.
Yeah.
But I think in a Wu Cass final, I think Wu wins. What do we think about this season if Wu wins?
Well, like I said, as long as Wu's not in the final, if Wu,
I know people constantly say, and I agree to a certain point, a season is a season. It's a great season because of all the great stuff that happens. But the further you get away from a season, what people remember are some big characters, some big moves, and they remember that winner. And that winner ends up putting the stamp, that final Dakota on the season. And the question is, if it's Wu, are we going to forever look back at this season with just this tinge of regret?
I'm not, because we got 2 incredible players making it to the Final 4. I think it's almost like this giant battle of Tony, the army of Tony and the army of Spencer. Spencer's been behind the whole war, but they're still fighting, and every now and then Cass throws in a little cherry bomb somewhere, and she throws one over here, and all of a sudden Spencer and Tony wipe each other out, and they take Cass with them, and then Wu walks across the battlefield and picks up everybody's flag and just walks through and say, that's how I won. I let them fight the whole season, and then I came through in the end when they were both knocked out and picked their flags and won. And if that's how he wins, that's how he wins. But to me, Spencer and Tony are definitely worth, even Cass, are definitely worth getting to the end of this season.
I agree. It's funny, a few years back at one of the Winter Olympics, speed skating and how they sometimes have those massive wipeouts?
Yes.
There was a gold medal of one of the distances, and on the final turn, one guy wiped out, took out everybody, and the guy who was essentially in last just popped over them, and he won. He won the gold.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that would be woo.
And in 2 years, no one would remember who he was.
Yeah, this will be the season of Cass, Tony, and Spencer. Unfortunately,
exactly. So, if you want a winner that people are going to remember, then he's going to be one of those three. If you want one of those winners that you're like, wow, we don't ever see anything from them or hear anything from them.
If Wu wins, this will be just a really good season. I don't think he won't be compared to Kim or Rob or anybody else, but the season itself will still be held up as a really good beginning to end season.
Is that I'm thinking of like the equivalent that everyone keeps mentioning, Fabio. Were there other good players on his season?
I'm sorry, who's Fabio?
And do we remember his season fondly now that, because Fabio won?
I remember he peed in the pool.
No, I mean, I only say that just because, a somewhat lackluster winner does take some of the off of a great season.
You know what I remember about Fabio is that once he got to the reunion show, he seemed a little off.
Yeah.
A little conspiracy theorist. Just a little. And unfortunately, that's what I remember about that season.
Yeah.
Of course, we weren't podcasting then, so we weren't following it minute by minute. But still, that kind of to be honest, I see what you're asking because that really just kind of said, what was that season about again?
Yeah.
I mean, who else really sticks out that season after Fabio wins?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's probably a nice guy.
Oh, I'm sure he's a nice guy. Well, Andy, it is time again to say goodbye.
All right. Well, I'm looking forward to the round table when we get around to having it.
Yeah, me too. And you might want to. I know you listen to recaps. I don't know if you listen to feedback, but if you get a chance, listen to this one. Our last feedback. Will, the Giant Ninja, has spent literally about 10 hours on a Family Feud game for us to play.
Yeah, and I've been looking forward to it since I first heard about it. It should be fun.
Yes, you might listen to it. And then I saw on Twitter someone else is doing it. Anyway, let us move on. All right, Andy.
Well, have a good show, guys.
You too, man. Sir. Bye, Andy.
I'll catch you later. Bye.
All right, let's get to listener feedback, David.
Mm-hmm.
First is Mike from Canada.
Disappointed Mike from Canada here after the Trish eviction. I knew if Trish got to 4, she would win, but I guess so did Tony. Spencer still being around surprisingly plays into Tony's game plan. In fact, he can still legitimately argue to the rest, a bigger threat remains. That Wu Cass Tony scenario I previously painted is inching ever closer. Getting back to Trish, in a recent interview on a podcast, he revealed that Tony writing her name down was showing her respect, or that was what Tony said. In fact, really? To me, he granted her last request for a final check on the mercy dispatched her to the jury. After that, he told her he had 2 idols, one for him and one for her, if I got this right. This was her chance to say, all right, give me the idol now. She didn't. It didn't work. Tony previously had been coaxed into impulsive actions. All in all, that's a pretty cold way to play the game. When you factor in repeatedly that Tony not only eliminates but seems to revel in grinding fellow survivors into the ground. If we get a Survivor Final 2 rather than 3, that benefits Tony again. The duo of Cass and Tony translates to cut Tony the $1 million check. I wanted to touch on the SP idol one last time. It's okay to let the players utter a scenario that isn't kosher. That's playing the game. But Jeff has to reveal the idol expiration date. Without I don't agree.
Oh, you don't really?
No, I don't think you should have to unless somebody asks him. All they got to do is ask.
Oh,
then
now
he can say no.
Valid point. Valid point.
Yeah. Without a modicum of fairness, at least to the players, being present and shown, it stops being a reality show and is merely a scripted movie serialized over weeks. The ratings this season are through the roof, maybe more blindsides and exciting moments than any other season. Certainly top 5 most entertaining. I, however, cannot walk in lockstep staring on the shred ahead, accepting all, and for that reason, Dwayne and David, after the finale and comments on same, I am through watching Survivor. Enjoyed your podcast a lot. Thanks for listening. Mike from Canada.
Well, Mike, I hope you change your mind.
Yeah.
I hope you do.
I mean, I think, and I hate to sound like Tony, but I think about what Tony would do in that situation. He would ask. And Spencer may have asked. Maybe Probst said, I can't say. I don't own the idol or whatever. But, I mean, I understand in the past he said that at certain tribal councils, Probst would say this is the last chance. But And it was the last chance, last time. But
Or how about this? They all get a copy of the rules before the game. And I bet it's in the rules that all idols can be played up until Final Five or through Final Five. And so Tony's just hoping they don't remember that. I mean, I would think all the rules would have to be told up front.
so I would have thought this idol could have been played at Final Four since we're at a Final Two. And that's what would have helped Tony know that it's a Final Two. But he said it's Final Five. He said was telling Trish about it in
Right.
confessional.
Well, what do you think about what I'm suggesting? That the rule is stated, they just maybe didn't read them, or.
I'll say I don't think it should be Final Five. I think it should be 2 before the end.
But that's not my point. My point is that Probst isn't saying anything because he knows that Tony's trying to play on everybody, forgetting what they read. In other words, the rules for Survivor are given to everybody ahead of time.
And what did they read?
And I would say that the rules probably say in there about hidden immunity idols, how they can be played. There's a special one. Only the person who gets it will know how it can be played. But all idols can be played through Final Five. And they may just not have, maybe they just don't remember it. I would just think that they'd have rules that everybody is expected to read.
But see, that defeats the purpose of this special idol. If they tell it up front, whatever the idol is, you can only play it till Final Five.
Okay.
Which I don't think they did tell him that, which is why Tony thinks he can bluff it in the Final Four.
Alrighty. All right, next we have Carol Downing. Where's Carol from? Carol from Arizona. Hello, D&D podcasters and fellow Survivor fans. Wow, what a season. I admit my expectations were low when I first heard about the premise. The brain, beauty, brawn stereotype has been played out on other shows and reeked of desperation by Survivor to add this unoriginal concept to their list of failed ventures. But oh, how delightfully wrong I was. I've been pleasantly surprised each and every episode on how entertaining and suspenseful this cast and the editors have made it. And D&D podcast, add the D&D podcast to the mix to enhance, entertain, and inform, and we've got ourselves one gem of a season. As Tony might say, this is huge. We needed this. So now about this episode. My initial reactions were, what the bleep just happened? And she actually wrote bleep. So, and whoa, did you just see that? Cass totally flipped her off. But the real shocker came when the votes were revealed and Tony is shown with a parchment bearing the name Trish in great big capital letters. What the? But why? I thought maybe he'd saw the writing on the wall. His closest ally was a goner, and he would rather conform and go with it rather than completely alienate Wu and Cass. Maybe. Who knows? Spencer is his biggest threat, but your hands are tied when he's wearing that pretty necklace. Cass has nobody's respect, support, and most likely nobody's vote for $1 million. Why waste your vote on her when she's the perfect goat? So yeah, Probst was spot on in the preseason special when he said Cass has absolutely no chance of winning. He said, oh, okay, sorry. I'm jumping ahead. So, wait. Let me start over so she can actually get her joke in since I just ruined it for her. Sorry. So yeah, Probst was spot on in the preseason special when he said Cass has absolutely no chance of winning. What great foresight. Wait, what? That was Spencer he was talking about? Okay, never mind. I'm truly loving this Final Four. Each person has a great case for the jury, so sit back, grab the popcorn, and enjoy the ride. Don't you know that while Carol's listening to this, she's going, no, Dwayne, just keep on reading. Shut up, read.
Well, you got to explain the joke. It's not as good.
Yeah.
I think when it comes down to it, Tony plays for Tony. And I agree that we mentioned, I think in Mike's email about playing the idol on Trish, sorry, but Trish is somebody that can take votes from Tony in the end.
Yeah.
And I think Wu told him, we talked about the recap, I think right before the Tribal Council, Wu said they're going for Trish, and I think I'm going to go with them, and I think Tony said me too.
Yeah.
Why break that? Why go for a tie or anything?
Yeah. She continues, what shall we expect with this new and improved finale? Hopefully more paranoia, lying, cheating, stealing, begging, spy shacking, strategy, chaos, backstabbing, butt hurting, llama talking, stealth mode, ninja moves. Anything less at this point would be an epic fail. Hashtag epic fail. But I am giddy with anticipation for the most exciting ending of all endings. Really, who knows what they have in store for us? And that, my friends, is why this season has been such a thrill to watch. Who would have thunk it? We've witnessed blindside after blindside this season, and we're coming back for more. So the ultimate winner ends up being us, the fans, the viewers, the diehards who have stuck with Survivor through thick and thin. Sorry. Even if all we got was Redemption Island here and a one world there. Lately, the loyalty has been worth the wait, and for that, I am especially overjoyed. So D&D, please keep up the great podcasting and brilliant song parodies. You've made this awesome season even more, quote-unquote, awesomer. Wink, wink. Thanks, Carol from Arizona. Thank you, Carol.
I think a lot of what was good this season is the fact that most of the storylines, most of the strategy, and even the finals revolved around real fans. And that's no disrespect to recruits or anybody else, but when you get real fans in the mix, it comes out and it shows.
That's right.
I think that's been a big part of their success this year.
I've also enjoyed having a week to wait before the finale.
Oh, me too.
And one reason is because I love doing our listener feedback show, but also it's just like it seemed like Sunday was so quick.
Yeah, we're doing it right now.
Yeah. All right, David. Next we have Enrico from the Philippines.
Hi, Dwayne and David. My, how time flies when you're having fun. I'm probably being repetitive here, but really, how awesome is this season? I thought we had already gone downhill starting with the Morgan boot, but it apparently was just a calm before the storm, and it just got better and better with each episode. Wow, just wow. So here we are now at the Final Four, with 4 very different people and circumstances. But while Spencer's, Woo's, and Tony's paths to the million are quite evident, at this point, most of us know Cass's path won't be an easy one, especially with what we have seen so far. So for that, I'd like to audition 2 new songs for Miss Chaos herself. I hope Dwayne can help me here, assuming she gets to plead her case on the jury. No copyright infringement intended from The Sound of Music or Lady Gaga. Number 1, many a thing we know we'd like to ask her.
Are you going to sing it?
No. Do you want to sing it?
No, you're reading it.
Okay. I can't sing tonight.
Many a thing we know we'd like to ask
her. Many a thing we ought to understand. How do we make her stay and listen to all we say? How do you stop the chaos on the sand? I don't know how that tune goes.
Well, how do you solve a problem like
Sandra? How will she hold a million in her hand? So is it just me, but is this singing too, or can I read the rest of it?
No, please read.
So is it just me, but is Cass playing the anti-Dawn strategy? The last season she saw before flying to Cagayan was Survivor Karamoan, so I'm thinking that she planned to not make the same mistake as Dawn did. If she was going to be ruthless, she was going to do it, show it, and stand by it. Maybe she'd rather have the persona up front than hide behind a motherly image and yet backstab people. I mean, nobody wants another Toothgate, right? Dawn got flack and 0 votes for her game, so Cass's worst possible result by going to the other end of the spectrum would just be the same as Dawn's best. She can't do any worse, but she might just be able to pull it off. Will she be apologetic? Will she be proud and as in-your-face as possible? Will the jury respect someone who played to the GOAT right at the very start? Will the jury respect someone who played to be the GOAT right at the very start? Will she start by ruining your plans? I furthered mine. I may be a GOAT, you may dislike me, but I got myself to where I wanted to be. I don't think Cass lacked self-awareness, nor is she overflowing with it. See Philip Shepard 1.0. Was it her journey, and was it the story the edit wanted to tell? I mean, she can't all be negative, right? Number 2. Okay, how does this one go? Did you read it?
This is Poker Face, which I don't know Poker Face very well.
Yeah, I don't know it that well either. It says, oh, she'll get them hot. Show them what she's got. Oh, she'll tell a lot. How she's got a shot. Can't read her. No, they can't read her. Poker Face. They've got to vote somebody. They can try. She won't cry, and they'll respect her. Poker Face. She'll win over the bitter jury. Note for further parody writers: if you do want it sung, sing it.
Yeah,
audio
call in. You don't even have to call. There's a button on our website. Just push it and record.
Right. Way back in episode 1, Cass mentioned that she has not yet lost any case she has handled in the past. That's a good point. Then at the merge, Spencer pointed out how she had 0 chance of winning the game, and she countered with, "It's a long game." I still believe there is so much more to those previous statements than meets the eye or ear. To make it clear, I do not think Cass will win, nor am I hoping that she will win, nor justifying if she did win. I'm just trying to go through my head now. How in the world will she be able to pull this off with her annoying, insincere poker face? She can try to speak llama, or Crabbanese, or Snakish, though it could only make matters worse. How would Survivor and the rest of the world react to the very first unlikable winner? That should keep us talking and discussing in the next 4 months. Well, the finale is all set next week, and I'm more than excited how this season ends. This goes to show how the show has gained momentum over the past 4 seasons, and no matter what the end result will be, Survivor Cagayan will be one of the record books. Till the finale, Enrico from the Philippines.
Awesome. Thank you, Enrico. By the way, for those of you who don't, spend all your time on message boards and Facebook and Twitter, because I know we have a whole lot more listeners than we have on Facebook and Twitter. The reason why Tony spoke llama was because Cassandra has been telling everybody that she's an animal trainer, right? Right, David?
Yep.
Yeah. So he was like, maybe you'll understand this since you deal with animals all the time.
Yeah.
So that's why he did that. I had no idea why he was speaking llama to her.
So Tony's not the only one that misled with his occupational choice.
Yes. Although he has since come clean.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Next we have Lou from New York, and I will be reading it. Chapter 1, titled, How Few Enemies Do You Have? Or, How Good Do You Look? You thought you'd be bored? New players this season? Ugh. Who are these people? Where's Malcolm? Where's Coach? Where's Broccoli Rob? We want to see them return. We're fans of these favorites. Bring back the faves. Fans versus favorites, blood versus water. You cannot be serious. Even though I'm laughing, I'm serious. Well, they're gone. Been there, done that, bought the t-shirt, posted the selfie. I mean, not just done and gone, but overdone. Stick a fork in their overcooked stale egos. It's over. But there is light. If you really need to see them again, to play again, get the DVD. You can go to a Survivor event or listen to them rehash their drivel on a podcast. As in life, they had their one chance to blow it or not. It hasn't been since One World that we've seen an all-new cast. One World was so twisted up with twists, it somehow didn't work. But don't blame the players, no. So, what I was saying? Oh, yes. These new players, right. Okay. So really, who are they? Why should I watch this? Really, what do these gringos know about playing the game? This bunch of green, wet behind the ears, diapered tweeters? Really? Why do you have to ask? Because you know them. They live next door, down the hall, across the tracks, on the hilltop, upstairs, 2 trailers over, in the next cubicle, behind the cosmetic counter. The nuclear engineer, surgeon, bookie, druggie, card shark, student, bartender, starving artist, wannabe actor, barber, burger flipper, ice cream scooper, sitcom writer, chef, barista, car thief, a.k.a. cop. Ninja, lawyer, cop, fireman, plumber, etc., etc., etc. These dudes can play. They swing and flip harder than a trapeze act without a net. Chapter 2, titled, You're in It Now. Although their appearances may make you think you don't know them, you do. Look closely. Are they beauties or are they uglies? Are they brawny or are they twinks? Are they brainy or are they dummies? Maybe you can see yourself. Can you? Look again. Now look in the mirror and lie to yourself if you can. Lie to yourself. Take a moment to reflect. Check your ID. Chapter 3, titled, Let's Play. Who do you like? Who do you hate? Or should I ask, who will you have to like? Who will you have to hate? Do you see yourself as being liked or hated? Look again. Look deep. What do you do or would you do to be liked or hated? Chapter 4, titled, Woo Do You Trust? Your Honor, if I may approach the bench, look at Woo. What do you see? Does Woo do what you would do or to be liked or hated? What do you think of him? Is he 1 in a million or is he the one to get the million? Tony, same questions. Cass, same questions. Spencer, same questions. All of them, same questions. Guilty as charged or innocent as charged. Either crime is punishable. I rest my case. Just hang in there, people. Hang in there. Chapter 5, titled You Be the Judge. Okay, Lou, what about you? Would you do what you would do? I'm sorry. This is like reading a Dr. Seuss book. Would you do what Wu would do? Well, I can only speak for myself, as I would expect all of them to do, but some of them will speak for you or on your behalf to your detriment. Now ask yourself, what would you do? Would you be able to get through like Wu? Look close again. These people are you. You are Tony, you are Cass, you are Spencer, you are LJ, Jeffra, Bryce, Morgan, and Wu too. Casting would want to agree. Something genuine and pure, especially the ones left after the merge. Real people, real players in survival mode, engaged in the getting as far as they can in this game, treading water, in over their heads, submerged. Some sink all on their own, some float all on their own, some have someone helping them up, and some have someone pulling them down. Last chapter, chapter 6, now win it. We've forgotten how compelling, pure, and fun the game can be with plain vanilla newbies. You say things have changed since Season 1. Ratings, etc. play into it, you say? Oh, sure, things have changed. We've changed. The world has changed. But this season, a throwback to the original, is a classic, the real stuff. It's you and me playing against one another. Darwin gets it. Heck, it was his idea before it was Mark Burnett's, right? Everyone's in it to win it. Don't mess with the gods. Enjoy it, hate it, admire it, endure it, live it, and you will win it. Regards, Lou.
Wow.
I am speechless.
He
I
said
did
it.
that. That was a first read-through. Hey, like that.
There you go.
Man, good job, Lou. Always love to get your feedback.
Yep.
Get your daughter to send some in, although we want her to send it in, audio feedback.
Yeah. That's what Cochran would prefer too, probably.
Yes. All right. Next we have Mike in Cleveland. And since he wrote with you last week, and maybe writing with you this week, I thought I'd let you read it.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Hello, boys. Well, it's crystal clear. Tony failed to either read or just didn't comprehend the DJSR prior to getting on the island this season, with the DJSR being the David Jones Survivor rules.
Yes.
His gameplay...
Not get published.
No. His gameplay... Nobody's called. His gameplay reminds me of Wildcat players you often face early in large chess tournaments or in opening rounds of poker tournaments. In chess, they're just too overly aggressive in their opening that during the mid-game they often find themselves exchanging knights and bishops for their opponent's pawns. Or at poker, they keep pushing their chips in until someone finally is dealt pocket aces and catches him. Had I ever faced Tony at a chess or poker tournament, I would have just slow-played him and waited him out, but if I was playing Survivor with him, I would have wooed him right to sleep instead. Wu found himself on the wrong side of the cliff blindside at the tribe mix-up, but has managed never to be on the wrong side of another vote. Unlike the more heralded so-called better Survivor players on this season, when he was blindsided, the first words out of his mouth help his game, not hurt it.
That's true.
When placed in a swing vote position twice now, he has played it perfectly. Even Cass admitted in confessional this week it was Wu who decided not to flip earlier, not her telling him what to do. Now he finds himself in a situation at Final Four that practically guarantees he's going to the Final Three. And now that we know it's a Final Two this season, he is simply an IC win away from the $1 million. Tony. The DJSR clearly states rule number 1 is Survivor is about the numbers. Rule number 2, always protect your numbers. Rule number 3, when in doubt, always refer to rule number 1. Under no circumstances would Trish have ever voted Tony out of this game, and Tony will need that security at a Final Four tribal. Had Tony protected Trish, he still has a chance to win Immunity Challenge, but if he doesn't, he's still not automatically dead because him and Trish could lock up the vote and still have a fire-building chance. Now he enters Final Four knowing if he doesn't win the Immunity Challenge, he's going home. In a way, it would be a poetic end to his game. My only cause for pause is the promo we see of Wu threatening to burn the whole place down. I'm praying that ends up much like his tragic fall preview. And of Wu's last season, I would be crushing big time on Spencer about now, but unfortunately Wu has already cleaned my heart, so I'm hoping Spencer loses the next Immunity Challenge and goes to the jury already. In closing, I would like to give Dwayne the opportunity to recant his mocking of my position last week, that if Spencer won an Immunity Challenge, Tony would need to keep Wu for Final Four.
I hereby apologize to Mike in Cleveland for mocking his position. He is an amazing, smart man, and I hereby concede to his amazingness.
Well put. Andy Baker has joined him in his mocking of my feedback. I guess we should have got Andy's apology too. But humbly bowed down on Facebook and admitted the foolishness of his previous position. Oh, okay. And Mike goes on to say, the floor is now yours, Mr. Stroud, which you just wiped clean. Keep up the good work, Mike in Cleveland. If you'd like to read the rest of Mike's thoughts on this season and how it's all going to end, you will find his finale forecast with mine in my final blog submission for the season.
Yeah, Survivor Talk with DND.com. And if you just sit there, the banners go across, and you'll be able to find Survivor by the Slice whenever David updates it.
Yep.
So while you're there, shop Amazon. All right, next we have Will from Wonder Lake, Will the Giant Ninja. Will told me that he spent over 10 hours on this feedback today. Thanks to Will and at least 50 of our D&D listeners. This should be a fun feedback.
I'm getting my pen and paper ready. Something tells me I'm going to need to keep track of what I say.
What's up, guys? It's Will from Wonder Lake again, a.k.a. the Giant Ninja.
Hey, Will! Sorry, he said hi.
So we're almost done with this incredible season. We're down to 4. Oh, by the way, he sent me PDF documents. I literally have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, over 10 pages.
Oh my goodness!
Don't stop listening, people. This is just stuff for me to refer to. But Will owes me paper. I'm just kidding. All right.
Here's your small force.
We're down to 4, and what a final 4 it is. We've got the Tiny Ninja, the Agent of Chaos, the Architect of the Spy Shack, and the Kid who's staying alive. I ain't going nowhere. Survivors. I love that song.
I can tell because you missed the chance of playing Spy Shack and Chaos Cash.
Yeah, I don't have them queued up.
I wonder why.
I returned the iPad. So, all right, here we go. I think Spencer beats anybody, and I think that Tony beats anybody other than Spencer. I am in agreement.
Mm-hmm.
I think the jury will vote for Woo over Cass, but it's not a slam dunk. Of course, I could be biased. I love me some Cass. Well, I hope nobody gets a screen cap of that because I looked really like an idiot just then. The Survivor fan in me hopes for a Tony versus Spencer final 2. The realist in me expects Woo versus Cass. No! Okay, so how is this whole Family Feud? Oh, wow, that's his feedback. Now it's time for Family Feud.
He wanted to leave you off with that.
Yeah.
No.
All right, we'll play the rest of that in a minute. Okay, so how's this whole Family Feud thing going to work? I have to admit, I didn't think this through. Family Feud...
That's what we said about this podcast.
Yeah.
We didn't think it through the first year.
Yeah. Family Feud is really a game for, families. It takes more than one player. Moreover, it needs a live host. I just can't do it in a recording like I did with the Newlywed Game, so I'm relying on Dwayne to not blow it.
There you go.
Not what he
Put
said.
all the pressure on Dwayne.
To be my live host, meaning he'll have to be an active participant, checking answers and keeping score. And on David to think through all of the questions. It's going to be a challenge, David. You're not trying to figure out what I think, but rather what the average D&D listener thinks.
I just like that Dwayne's going to have to work, too.
Oh, gosh. I'll provide a bit more commentary after we play the game. Don't want to spoil anything. So what we're going to do is a 5-question game, wherein it's David's job to guess all 5 of the top answers without getting 3 strikes. Okay?
So I have to guess the number 1 answer of each question.
No, you have to guess all 5 without getting 3 strikes.
The top 5 of each question.
Yes.
Okay.
The top 5 answers are on the board.
3 strikes per question.
Just like Family Feud.
Okay.
Have you seen Family Feud?
I have.
Serious question. Yes? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, you were saying the top 5 answers or whatever. It's okay. Go ahead.
It's your job. It's David's job to guess all 5 of the top answers before he gets 3 strikes. Then we're going to have a bonus lightning round where David and I will be partners. We'll each answer the same 10 questions, first thing that comes to mind. But his answers can't be the same as mine.
Oh.
If they are, Dwayne will make him pick a new answer. The goal is to see if David and I can score 150 or better in the lightning round. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Folks that are listening live on YouTube or Google+, feel free to suggest answers in the comments section. If David or Dwayne sees them, David is free to use the suggestions.
I can't see the answers anyway.
All right. Question. Oh, all right. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Family Feud.
If they want to throw up answers, I'll be glad to listen and consider it.
Hi, welcome to Family Feud Survivor Style. We surveyed 50 D&D fans, and the top 5 answers are on the board. Name something a survivor should do on the first day of the game.
Name something a survivor should do on the first day of the game. Build a shelter.
Good. Number 3 answer, 6 out of 50.
Build a fire.
Number 4 answer, 6 out of 50. Something a survivor should do on the first day of the game.
Make friends. Start a social repertoire of making friends with people.
And the survey says, socialize, learn names.
What number was that?
I'm giving you that one. That was number 1 with 15.
Oh, socialize, learn names was the thing? Okay.
Yeah, I went ahead and gave you that. 2 more answers are on the board. You have no strikes.
Collect water or boil water.
And the survey says, strike 1, David. No boiling
Seriously?
water.
People didn't get water on the first day?
Those are not the top 5 answers. It was my answer.
Okay.
I think, maybe. I don't know. Something a survivor should do on the first... Should I flirt with you like they do on Family Feud?
No. Something you should do on the first day. I got shelter. I got fire. Socialize. You should. I guess one thing that I would think, being a social person, I would want to be observant of other people and see how they act, see who goes off, see who doesn't goes off, see who else is being quiet, who else is starting to strategize.
I understand you don't have to continue to elaborate. I will give you that one.
Really?
5, listen/don't talk. Is that kind of what you meant?
Yeah, let's be a listener, observant, be very observant. Yes. The other one that just came to me, I couldn't believe I didn't think of it, was make an alliance on day 1.
Number 2 answer for 11, David got one right.
So do I get to carry the other 2 strikes over to the next question? You 5 strikes settle?
No, you don't.
How about that?
I hope I don't need that page again because I'm throwing it off to the side.
I completely forgot about making an alliance, and that's probably the most important thing you should do.
All right, commercial break. Be sure to shop Amazon through Survivor Talk with D&D. And now, back to the game. All right, next person coming up to the podium. David, question number 2, top 5 answers are on the board. We surveyed 50 D&D fans, and the top 5 answers are on the board.
Don't go off the script.
Gosh, I mean, I was going to say that anyway, Will.
Stay on script.
Name a player from the current season you'd like to see return.
Oh, it's too easy. Spencer.
Number 1 answer was 17.
Tasha.
And the survey says number 3 answer was 7.
Team TV, also known as Tony.
Survey says number 2 answer with 12.
LJ.
Wow, you have 1 answer left and 3 strikes, David.
I would say Cass.
The survey says
What?
1 strike.
No Cass. I'm not going to say Morgan. I'm not going to say Jeremiah. I'm not gonna say...
Sergio is on YouTube. He goes, finally, freaking Family Feud. He's tired of all the listener feedback.
Okay.
Get to the Family Feud. Yeah. Will Dennison says, too easy. We'll see. 2 more strikes, buddy.
Um,
There is time limits now. Come on. It's Family Feud.
what's
If
okay?
I start flirting too much, it means your time's almost up.
What about Alexis? No, not Alexis.
And the survey says
That could be top 5.
nope.
What about Bryce?
And
Somebody we didn't get to see any of.
all
This
right.
is my 3rd strike, isn't it? I got 2
You have
strikes.
one more strike. Are you guessing Bryce?
Well, no to Garrett, no to David, no to Jatia. You already said no to Cass. No to Cliff, no to Lindsay. I guess it would be Bryce or Trish. Not say no to Trish. I think I'd rather see Bryce because we didn't get to see any of Bryce. Of course, that's my opinion. I don't know if it's their opinion. It's not like I'm
Final
losing,
answer.
not like I'm losing money or anything. I'll say Bryce because I would still like to see how
Will's
Bryce.
going to give you like free Facebook advice. All right, so you're saying Bryce?
I'll say Bryce.
And you got it. 2 for 2, David.
Wow, that's neat because they
Amazing.
like Bryce. That means they like Bryce. I was really looking forward to seeing Bryce play. I was looking forward to seeing Bryce play. We didn't get out of anything.
Question number 3, David. We questioned 50 D&D fans, and the top 5 answers are on the board. Name a terrible Survivor twist.
Okay, Medallion of Power.
Number 1 answer with 12.
Outcast.
Number 3 answer with 7. 2, 4, and 5 are still on the board.
Redemption Island.
Number 2 answer with 11. So only number 4 and 5.
The Toilet Paper Idol or the TP Idol.
That's correct. With 6, the number 5 answer is on the board.
Exile Island. Okay, not Exile.
Yep, happening.
Anybody on Facebook got any thoughts? Let's see. What else is ridiculous?
Facebook. You mean
YouTube.
YouTube?
YouTube. Same difference.
Nope.
Come on, Sergio. Let's see.
I think my answer was Medallion of Power, by the way.
That was just ridiculous. They got rid of it so fast. I don't even know why they even edited it into the game.
Post is like, please use the Medallion of Power. No, we're going to hold on to it. Crap.
Would you like to use a Medallion of Power?
How about the other team if I give you $500? All right, come on. 2 more answers.
Terrible
2 more
twist.
chances.
I know a lot of people didn't like One World, but I didn't think that was a bad twist. It was just played poorly. But I'll say Is a One World a twist? Is that an option?
That's a twist, yeah.
Okay, I'll say One World. Okay, I won't say One World. I was just playing. I was just pretending.
Ladies and gentlemen, David Jones playing Family Feud.
Well, see, usually you'd be talking to me right now, wasting
Yes.
time, giving me more time to think.
So right now, David, when you see your wife, do you think Family Feud? Do you eat Klondike bars just for fun?
Data Power, Outcast, Redemption.
All right, you have about 10 seconds.
Counting.
The buzzer will go off without any notice.
I'm still gonna get the guess. Where's it? Exile, Redemption.
Last chance.
The age season where there's different ages, age versus
Let me
older.
check. Did he get the answer in time?
See, if I'm
Yeah.
fifth, I've got more time to think.
You got the answer in time. Now just chill out.
That's not right.
Survey says
That's why you gave it to me, because I got it wrong. What was
have and have-nots. The have and have-nots.
that? Was like one season, wasn't it?
Yep. One tribe had everything. One tribe had nada.
I don't think that
All
bad.
right. Question number 4. Come to the podium, please.
I don't even remember the having much.
We surveyed 50 D&D fans, and the top 5 answers are on the board. Name something a survivor might eat at Ponderosa. Name something a survivor might eat at Ponderosa.
Can I say chocolate, or is that too broad?
Chocolate, number 4 answer. Something a survivor might eat at Ponderosa.
Peanut butter.
Number 3 answer was 7.
Well,
Chocolate had 4, by the way. 4 out of 50.
this year they're eating steaks at the first. They're about steak, meat, protein, or I'd say steak specifically.
Steak. Number 1 answer. A bunch of people don't watch Ponderosa except for this season.
Yeah, really. And this is probably one of the worst Ponderosas to watch because they're all just.
Yeah, they're like at a resort.
I know.
All right, number 2 and number 5 answer are on the board.
Ice cream?
Number 5 answer with only 3. So you have the number 2 answer is on the board. 12 people said this.
Pizza? That's not. We don't know that.
Nope.
What do they eat? This year they're eating steak. They're eating. I mean.
Oh, I'm sorry. Will says I should have said haves versus have-nots. Excuse me, Will.
I think that was only in one season. I didn't think that was too bad because you had to earn to be the have. It wasn't a twist at the beginning where one of you is going to be have, one of you is going to be have not. But
right,
it's still
back to our question. Something a survivor might eat at Ponderosa. You have 1 strike, and the number 2 answer is on the board.
That's officially a twist because it's really a reward.
Number 2 answer is on the board.
Did I get the 6th twist right? Okay. Number 2 answers on the board. I don't know. I don't watch Ponderosas that much anymore. Potatoes? Is that one?
Nope.
I'm just going to guess another protein. What about chicken? What?
Oh.
The number 2?
All right, what's left? The number 2 answer.
Candy.
Cheeseburger with 12.
Oh, somebody ate a cheeseburger?
Apparently.
Good for them. Good for one of them right now.
You are 2 and 2. Will predicted you would get 3 correct and 2 wrong.
Oh, that's right. I got one more. Ooh.
Question number 5. Approach the board, please. All right, shake hands. Question number 5. We surveyed 50 D&D fans, and the top 5 answers are on the board. Name something you'd rather do than watch soccer. David, name something. This is D&D people. Name 50 D&D people were surveyed. Something they would rather do than watch soccer.
Watch Survivor.
Number 1 answer with 11.
Probably anything else.
Number 3 with 4. Anything.
Oh, you people. Other than watch other than watch soccer.
Mm-hmm. Something you'd rather do than watch soccer. Top 5 answers are on the board. You have watch Survivor and anything.
Do they include us? Survivor Talk with D&D?
Is that your answer?
That's my question about an answer.
I'm not going to answer you. I have the answers. If I answered you yes, then that would be. You got to decide. Is that one of your answers?
With this faithful group, except for the Giant Ninja, I'd say yes. They would choose D&D as one of their answers.
Listen to Survivor Talk with D&D. Only 2 are faithful listeners out of 50. All right, David. Something you'd rather do than watch soccer. Watch Survivor, anything, and listen to Survivor Talk with D&D have been on the board. 2 more answers.
Play sports. Instead of watching a sport, play a sport.
Play soccer. Number
really?
4 answer. So the number 2 answer is still on the board. You only have 1. You don't have any strikes, David.
They're about
you have 3 chances to get this one. I don't think you're going to get it.
What would people rather do than watch soccer?
Mm-hmm. You said, now just listen to the answers, okay? Because these are the answers.
I wrote them down.
Watch Survivor.
Mm-hmm.
Anything. Play soccer. Or listen to Survivor Talk with D&D. Those are the actual answers.
There's got to be something in there that they would never want to do, except that soccer was brought up into it. What about sleep?
Sorry.
That sounded like an alarm clock.
2 more strikes.
I would say some people would probably say poke their eyeballs out, but that's probably not one of the answers.
Something they'd rather do than watch soccer.
Sleep out in a shelter for 39 days. I don't know.
Is that your answer?
Sure.
One more try.
Sorry, Will, but I have no idea what people are going to say, what they'd rather do than watch soccer.
I think you actually do know the answer. You are just not listening to me. Pay attention to what the existing answers are. And one has not been covered, even though you kind of said it, but I gave you a different answer because just listen.
So you directed me away from the right answer.
No, I did not. I gave you credit for anything. I gave you credit for Watch Survivor. I gave you credit for Play Soccer, and I gave you credit for Listen to Survivor Talk with D&D. Number 2 is rather obvious, and this is your last chance.
It's obvious to you because you're looking at it.
It's obvious to you. You're going to be upset.
Does it have to do with watching something? 20 questions. Yes or no?
No, I'm not doing that.
Well, then I'm not answering.
Come on, man. We're going to lose people. Come on.
I mean, I don't know.
All right, so you are you going to pass?
I'm going to call a nil. A tie.
Watch another sport. See, you said watch anything. No, you said watch anything. So I took that and said anything.
Oh, I said watch or play another sport.
No, you said watch anything. You never said play. No, you said play another sport. Play any other sport, so I gave you play soccer. You said watch anything, so I gave you anything. That's why I went back over the answers at least 3 times so you would know.
So you should have said, so I would, if I'd come, but whatever. That question should not even be asked. That did not have to do with the subject matter at hand.
Okay, so how did David do? He says. My guess is that he won 3 out of the 5 questions. David got 2 out of the 5.
But I was close to the other one.
Yeah. He missed out on which survivor do you want to see return. He couldn't come up with Bryce. Well, you're wrong there, Will. And what would you rather do than watch soccer, because he couldn't imagine anyone wanting to do anything other than watching a thrilling 0-0 tie. Am I right? No, you are wrong. And David is a little irritated.
No, he's not. What was the other thing?
Not wrong? Oh.
What was it? Oh, the cheeseburger. I didn't get cheeseburger.
Yeah.
And I didn't get his have and have not twist, which I don't think was a twist. I think it was a reward. But I guess it was a twist because it was part of the theme of the season.
All right. Either way, let's do a lightning round.
I made it to the lightning round. That's all that matters.
Just like in the TV show, 2 contestants answer the same questions and combine their score. But the second player can't repeat the first player's answers. And since I am writing this on Saturday, I have to go first. For the record, I answered all 15 questions in a speed fashion before any answers came in, and my answers did not get compiled with the 50. The results.
Right, I cannot do the same speed pattern because I do not know the questions.
I know.
So I should be given extra time.
Dude, I'm not going to time you. Just do
good. Okay, good.
So, Dwayne, I don't really understand why I got to do this. So, Dwayne, please have David take his earpiece out so that, because he wants all the listeners to be able to hear his answers first.
Do you want me to take my earpiece out?
Not yet.
Okay.
Have him take his earpiece out so that he can't hear and read your answers. Hear you read your answers. This is our big budget version of an isolation booth, and hopefully you can get his attention in a minute or 2 so he can plug back in. All right, David, I will go like this whenever it's time for you to come back in.
I'm going to go get a drink refill anyway.
All right, here we go.
Let me mute. Hold on, let me mute.
David is getting his earphones out. All right, here we go. Name a survivor that you love watching. Russell Hantz. Bing! 4. Name a luxury item that you'd take on a season of Survivor. A book. Ding! 2. Name the best survivor who's never won the game. Ding! Rob Sesternino with 20. Name the best season of Survivor. Ding! Heroes versus Villains with 9. Name a survivor that you hate watching. Well, he wrote Jatia, 0. Name a place that a hidden immunity idol might be found. Up in a tree, 31. Name a job someone might make up if they were afraid of revealing their real job. Construction worker. 6. Name an underrated survivor. Johnny Fairplay. Eh. Name an overrated survivor. Rupert Boneham. 8. Name something that might be in a gross food challenge. Ballot. 10. All right, let's bring David on back out. David.
Hey, Gene, I saw you. I said I was coming.
Couldn't hear you.
Grief.
All
Chillax,
right.
lightning, Dwayne.
All right, I'm not going to be able to tell you the numbers because I just got to make sure that you don't repeat his.
Right. That's all you got to worry about.
And
I'll
then
say a
I'll-
name or whatever, and I figure there's names in there, so.
All right, here we go. Are you ready?
Sure.
If you repeat his answers, I will go because I couldn't find the
Okay, that's fine.
Name a survivor that you love watching.
Russell.
This is a speed round.
So he said Russell? Malcolm.
Yes, obviously. All right. Are you writing these down?
Yes, and these are the choices of the people he asked. These aren't my choices. These are the people that he asked, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Name a luxury item that you'd take on a season of Survivor.
Toilet paper.
Name the best survivor who's never won the game.
Rob Sesternino. He can't go first. That's not fair. Suri.
Name the best season of Survivor.
Heroes versus villains. Well, it's not my second favorite, but fans versus favorites, Micronesia.
Name a survivor that you hate watching.
Boston Rob.
Name a place that a hidden immunity idol might be found.
In a tree. At Tree Mail.
Name a job someone might make up if they were afraid of revealing their real job.
A construction worker. A teacher.
Name an underrated survivor.
Underrated survivor. Sandra, my favorite.
Name an overrated survivor.
Well, Rupert. Boston Rob.
Name something that might be in a gross food challenge.
Spider. Now, I would change and say that, what was it, least favorite to watch? It's not Boston Rob. I said that because I knew it would get you. He's not my least favorite to watch. But
All
the
right.
last Boston Rob was hard to watch.
All right, I need you to go over your answers with me. All right, so name of a survivor you love watching. You said
So I got 4 his right. I said Malcolm.
Malcolm for 3 points.
You only got 3 points?
Okay, David, you can come back now. He hasn't heard my answers, and he doesn't know the questions. David, your partner scored 90. You could score 82 without doubling any of my answers, but you only need 60 to win.
Okay.
Okay? All right. Listen to this. Again, first answer that comes to mind, and Dwayne will, hopefully, tell you if you doubled up on my answer. Come on, Will. I know what I'm doing.
So what was Russell worth?
Oh, he said Russell Hance. It was 4.
All right, so I got Malcolm for 3. Okay.
Okay. Name a luxury item that you'd take on a season of Survivor. He said a book for 2. You said
Toilet paper.
3. That was on the board with 3.
Was that number 1?
No. Number 1 answer was deck of cards. Number 1 answer for name a survivor you love watching, Boston Rob.
Ah.
All right. Name the best survivor who's never won the game. He said Rob Sesternino. 20 points, number 1 answer. You said
Suri.
number 2 answer,
Hey!
5 points.
Not quite the number 2 quality, but it's still getting 5 points.
Name the best season of Survivor. He said Heroes versus Villains, which was the number 1 answer with 9. You said
Fans versus favorites, Micronesia.
number 8 answer, 3.
3 points.
Yep. All right. Name a survivor that you hate watching. He said Jatia for 0.
I should have said Philip. No, I
You
should have
said
said Philip. Boston Rob.
Boston Rob, number 5 answer with 3 points.
Who's number 1?
Brandon Hance.
Oh.
Tied with Russell Hance.
Good answer.
All right. Name a place that a hidden immunity idol might be found. Your partner said up in a tree, number 1 answer, 31 points. You said
Tree Mail.
At Tree Mail, which got 1.
That's not fair. He gets all the credit for all the number 1 answers.
No, because you said it also. Name a job someone might make up if they were afraid of revealing their real job. He said construction worker, which was the number 2 answer. You said
teacher.
Teacher. Did you get the number 1 answer?
I don't know. It's the only thing that came to mind.
Yes, you did. 21.
What's construction worker worth?
6.
6.
You got the number 1 answer, dude.
I got 10.
Name an underrated survivor. He said Johnny Fairplay. His mom thought he meant Johnny Foreplay. Seriously, that's what he wrote to me.
How much is Fairplay worth for underrated? Because it's true.
Will says the best answers to something other than soccer were get hit with a stick, dig my eyeballs out with a spoon, get a root canal.
We are past that question. Root canal. I didn't think about root canal as a joke. I thought somebody would say that.
All right, name an underrated survivor. He said Johnny Fairplay, which was 0 points. You said...
Oh, way to go, Will. I said
underrated. Sandra, number 1 answer, 4.
4 points for that? That's all I get for that?
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Name an overrated survivor. He said Rupert Boneham.
So did I.
Which was the number 2 answer. You said...
Boston Rob.
Number 1 answer, 9.
Who's saving us here, Will? How many points was Rupert worth?
Rupert was worth 8.
Oh.
Last question. How many points do you need?
Oh, you're going to... Seriously? So that's 10, 13, 16, 17. We got 1 for Tree Mail. That's 38 plus 4 is 42. And Boston Rob gives me 51. I need 9 points.
9 points to win.
To win nothing.
Name something that might be in a gross food challenge. He said ballot, which was tied for number 1, worth 10 points.
Balut.
Balut. You said there is another number 1 answer worth 10.
I said, is it worms?
What did you say?
I didn't say worms. Is worms up there? I said spiders.
You said spiders?
Mm-hmm.
Number 3 answer for 6 points. I'm sorry, you did not win lightning round.
Let the record show that I had 0 answers, but my partner, although some big number 1s, had 2 0 answers in Johnny Fairplay and Jatia.
Yes.
So we see where the weak link is.
Yes. All right.
I like the survey, though, because I like when we ask our friends on Facebook and Twitter about their favorite choices and stuff.
Yep. And now for some analysis. No, Will, you did not reach your 150. I'm sorry.
Dave, in fact, I need to. Well, he would have done better than me because he had the big answers.
And the results for name and underrated survivor were amazing. I received 41 different answers. 41 out of 50.
That's good.
That's a testament to how varied your listeners are. We all love different things about different players. And if my answers have been compiled, we'd have had 42 different survivors named. Beyond that, names like Boston Rob and Russell Hance appeared multiple times in multiple questions. They're loved and hated, underrated and overrated. This, again, speaks to the varied nature of your audience. I'll be posting the complete results on the Facebook page showing all 50 answers to all 15 questions. Thanks for helping out, everyone. Later, peeps. Will, the Giant Ninja.
So, the question about most hated player, do you still have that in front of you? You dropped it all down, didn't you?
No, I can get it.
I'm wondering who is. Oh, you said it was Brandon and Russell? Okay. Because Boston Rob is not my most hated player. In fact, I like watching him play a lot, just not that one season. But probably would have made a difference.
Oh, you want to see if it would have made a difference?
Yeah, if I'd have said Phillip or...
Name the player you hate watching?
Yeah.
You said Boston Rob.
What was he
said,
worth?
What did he say? I don't remember. He said. Anyway, no, you would have had to. Brandon Hance was 7. Russell was 7. Adi Maria was 4.
He said Jatia.
Yeah, so he didn't help y'all at all.
And Rob was worth 3, so I would have only got 4 more points if I'd have got that right.
Yeah.
Good answers.
All right. Awesome feedback, y'all. Before we get to the what every man should never say to their woman, to his woman, for the D&D after show, we have some more Survivor stuff going on here. CBS Express teaser, David.
It's Do or Die.
There you go.
Episode 13. And that's about it.
Is that all it says, really?
I got that off of Wikipedia, so I didn't see anything, and I didn't see where Mike had posted something yet. He usually pulls that up off of CBS Express, and I couldn't find where he posted anything. So if it's up there, it'll be on Facebook soon.
Oh, well, while you're going over some of the results, I'll go look at CBS Express and see if
Okay, why don't you do that? Moving on to notes, as we so affectionately call this segment. I'm going to read the points first. The fact that it's not down to 2, I still have my 2. There you go. Spencer got 4 points this week. Trish got 6. Woo got 5. Cass got 2. Tony got 17.
Wow.
Wow is right. Let's go find out how he got those 17 points. Okay. Let's see. Winner after any first immunity challenge. Spencer got that. Tony and Trish went on reward. Everybody started the episode. Trish made the jury 3 points. Woo, Trish, and Cass all had a blur. Woo said blindside 3 times. Tony said blindside 3 times. Tony said $1 million. Tony had 2 idols, which he played 1, and Tony played a hidden immunity idol.
Bottom line, am I still winning?
Yeah. I'm closing the gap, not as well as I'm doing in front office pools, but you're still way up. I have 238, and you have 281.
Awesome.
I only picked up 4 points this week.
All right. Of course, those results will be on the page as well. The Facebook, not the Facebook, but the Survivor page.
Yeah.
This post. How many points did you have total? Will wants to know. He had 90. You had like 54, something like that.
No, I had more than that. Oh yeah, it was close to that. I'll tell you. Go ahead and.
All right. Fun office pools. Who receives the second most votes to win? In other words, who comes in second place? That's not what I thought it said. Are you sure that's what it says?
Hold on.
Sure, David?
43. And
We'll have to go check now.
52. 6. I had 58. 58.
58. Y'all missed it by 2 points.
I think I had 58. The question, yes, I just pulled it off the page like an hour ago. Who receives the second most votes to win?
Well, then I need to change mine because I misread that question.
What did you think it said?
Who wins?
Mm-mm.
Let's see. Weekly picks.
No, it did say at the top.
Yeah, you're right. Oh, gosh. I need to change that.
Yeah, it said, remember, this is the final week. Your points need to go on who you think wins, not who you think is being eliminated.
Oh, okay.
So remember, when you're placing your 20 points, you're putting all 20 points on a winner.
Right. It's actually 40 points this week.
Oh, that's right. It's 40 in it.
Yeah. All right. So who receives the second most votes to win? I put Tony Velachos.
I put Cass.
All right.
And the second question is who, not what, finishes third or gets the third most votes. So who finishes third, last member of the jury, or if there's final 3, who gets the third most votes. And I think Tony is going to finish in third place. I
put Cassandra.
Not making the final. He's going to be on the jury.
Yeah, I put Cassandra.
Tony. Okay.
All right. And I put all 40 points on Spencer to win it.
See, the only chance I have is to pick somebody else to catch up with you, and I should. I just don't.
Can't you pick the person you picked to win?
You know what? I think I am. Because when I finished my blog, I had a different winner than my pick. But I'm going to pick all my points on Tony. I'm going to put Spencer as fourth, Woo as third, and Cass as second, and Tony to win. Just the only chance I have to catch you. Now it's about winning. It's not about just getting close.
Right. Of course.
It's no fun to be in second.
Right. So you have lost. You're losing every single Survivor-related game you're playing this season.
We've already covered this.
What's interesting is that when the season is unpredictable, you do very poorly. Just saying.
Just saying.
Yeah. All right. my friends, that is our listener feedback show. Join in for us Thursday night live, probably about 9 o'clock Eastern time. Depends on what time David gets home. And we'll have a great recap and discussion of not only the finale, 2-hour finale, but also of the live reunion show, which I will be watching this year. I am watching it this year.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to want to tune in for that. If you're an audio-only listener, that podcast will be out on Friday morning, not Thursday morning. Okay? So Friday morning, not Thursday morning. Follow us on Twitter at Survivor_Talk. Follow David at David_STWDD. And join the Facebook group. Just look up Survivor Talk. All right? And hit the website for blogs, past shows, to shop Amazon. Consider being a patron. Patrons get ringtones, wallpapers, time on the show, stuff like that, just as thank yous for doing that. Any final words, David, before we move on?
Nope, just a great season. I'm looking forward to a great finale.
I am too. All right, guys, thanks again for listening. That's all I've got. How about you, Dave?
I'm good.
All right, see ya.
See ya.
I ain't going nowhere. Survivor's my game. Spencer is my name.
Time for D&D after show.
This would be the last one if you get us in trouble, just so you know.
Dude, I'm not going to get us in trouble.
You are not doing that after show again.
By whom? Who?
By your wife. Your wife.
She doesn't listen to my podcast.
Oh, well, you don't have to worry about Terry.
Mm-mm. Things guys should never say to their wives / girlfriends. I do not remember where I got this. You're not the prettiest girl I've dated.
I could do better.
Okay, now one thing we need to do is, have we ever done this? I have done this before. And unfortunately, it was my wife, but we were dating. I pulled out the picture of my previous girlfriend and said, y'all want to see somebody pretty? Look at this.
Which was in your wallet.
Which was still in my wallet, yeah. Well, technically, we were still dating. I was it was a crossover dating period. You know, when I would go home for the weekend, me and Kim would go out.
You had a hometown girlfriend and a college girlfriend.
All right. Number 2.
I've never done that, by the way.
Number 2. You look like my ex.
I wonder if y'all are related.
This I have never done.
Me either.
All right.
Would never do.
Number 3. Things guys should never say to their wives or girlfriends. You'd look better if, insert physical characteristic here. If you had bigger eyes, if you were shorter, if you didn't smell, anything. Don't say you'd look better if.
I know someone that said you'd look better if you looked more like your sister.
Are you serious?
I am so serious.
Oh my gosh.
Whether he was right or not doesn't matter.
Oh my gosh.
But he said you should look more like your sister.
Well, that would explain the picture of my sister on
in your wallet.
In our fruit. Number 4. Wow, that waitress is hot.
Let me tell you, the guy I work with, he's an older guy, super funny, really nice guy. He jokes a lot, he flirts a lot, and he said that he was getting his glasses a while back, and he was getting these different glasses. He's got a narrow nose, he can't use the wider glasses he wants. He's trying these on, and Lily goes, how you like these? He goes, well, they really need to fit good. As he's sitting next to his wife of so many years. He said, they really need to fit good. I want them to look really good on me. So when I start dating again, they really, really make me look.
Oh my gosh.
As he's sitting next to his wife. The lady behind the counter didn't know what to say.
Was he kidding around? He was kidding around.
Absolutely kidding. And she knew he was kidding. That's why she elbowed him and walked away. But so when I start dating again, I want to make sure I look really good.
Yeah. All right, so here is a joke that is only on YouTube.
Okay.
So the wife goes to the husband and says, honey, they've been married for like 15 years. I really want to try to increase the size, and he goes, I know a solution. She goes, what? He goes, every day, twice a day, grab some toilet paper and rub it in between. And she goes, well, that's not going to work. He goes, it worked on your butt.
And this is the after show with D&D.
Number 5, my mom thinks you should do this. My mom thinks. Do not say that. Every single newly married couple has, the husband has said that. Well, my mom did this. My mom does this. My classic one was my mom always cleaned all my clothes. I never didn't have dirty clothes. I never didn't have clean clothes.
Yeah.
That's what I said. Oh, man. Number 6, we will skip.
That's bad right there.
Your sister is a bee, is what it says.
Oh.
Number 7.
She's a babe. I got you. Okay.
Yes.
That's kind of what the guy I knew said. Your sister's a babe. You should look more like her.
We're going to skip number 7.
Okay.
Number 8. Wow, you're a lot like your mom. Things men should never say to their wives and
wow. You remind me of
not and/or girlfriends.
Wives and girlfriends. Something you should say, never say right there.
Okay, this one is a huge double standard, and I do not agree with this. The guy should never say, I don't want to have sex tonight. What? Whatever. Number 10. Never say, you should go on a diet.
I agree. You
Yes.
should never say that.
Oh, we're not doing that one. Okay, let's see. No, we're not doing that one. Wait. Oh, I will adapt this one. Never say, this one time when I was with so-and-so. You know, like compare your...
Relive old memories.
Yes, relive old memories. Never say to your wife or girlfriend, you're being too emotional.
That's like poking a hole in the floodgates.
Yeah. That's like saying, yeah, well, that number 18 is the one I was just thinking of, so I'll save it. Number 14, there's no way that small shirt's going to fit you.
It's like saying it's not the jeans.
Yeah. Oh, okay, next one. Let's see. Not doing that one, not doing that one. Number 17, you're overreacting. Yeah, don't say that.
You know what you should never say to me?
What?
Stop yelling. When I'm not yelling. I'm not yelling, so stop telling me to stop yelling.
I hate that. I'm speaking with passion. I'm not yelling. Number 18, things you should never say to your wives / girlfriends. Is it that time of the month because you're really being a pain?
Let me tell you something you'll never experience. Living with 3 women. And let me tell you something else you'll never experience is coaching 18 girls.
Oh my gosh.
Because when girls, I won't go any further. When they spend that much time together,
Yes.
they all like the same cereal after a certain point.
Yes. So you just come to practice, you go, oh great, go home. or today we're going to practice cross-checking.
No, today you guys are going to practice. I'm going in the other field.
We're going to practice slide kicks. All right, number 19, something you never say to your wife.
Mm-hmm.
You look really different in the mornings. Horrible. Wow.
Why do you look so different?
Wow.
I thought it was called beauty sleep.
What happened to your face?
Mike in Cleveland is loving this right now, but there's probably some people that aren't.
Yeah. All right, last thing a guy should never say to his wife and or girlfriend, and if you have any of these you'd like to post on our Facebook group, feel free to do so. Just keep it clean like we did. I had to take several out. Mm-hmm. It's a guy thing you wouldn't understand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Never say that.
Last thing you should not say to your wife, no, honey, we're going to be recording all summer. Apparently you shouldn't say that to David either because he doesn't want to do it either.
Just remember, happy wife, happy life.
Happy life. Well, thanks for hanging around for the D&D After Show. We have Thursday night show coming up. And then we'll do a feedback show. I don't know when. Depends on when I get back. The 25th is my anniversary.
Mm-hmm.
And as long as she doesn't hear this, what we just did, should be a fun anniversary. Thank you all for watching. We'll see you later.
Yep. Bye.